In the remote town of Lucin, Utah, 19-year-old Dylan Rounds worked on his farm, blissfully unaware that he would soon disappear without a trace. His family reported him missing 2 days later, his last known contact being a call to his grandmother. Mystery deepened as they found bloodied boots on the farm believed to be his. The young man's truck was parked nearby, strangely altered and locked, which was very unusual for him. The small community rallied in a heart-wrenching search for their missing neighbor, hoping for his safe return. On this episode of Vice Confidential, we explore the baffling case of Dylan Rounds, the details surrounding his vanishing act, and the desperate search for answers that followed. In the aftermath of Dylan's disappearance, there were more bizarre clues that left everyone scratching their heads. Besides the bloodied boots and the truck, something else was missing: Dylan's pistol from his trailer. It seemed like the pieces of the puzzle didn't fit together, making things even more thought-provoking. What made it even stranger was the lack of any tracks or footprints on the ground around his farm. It was as if Dylan had vanished into thin air, leaving no trace of his whereabouts. The police and Dylan's worried family desperately sought any information that could shed light on what happened to the teenager. However, despite months of appeals, only a handful of leads had surfaced, leaving them all frustrated and anxious. Amidst the uncertainty and speculation, a glimmer of hope emerged in the form of Lance Kelly, a determined man on a mission. Day after day, Lance tirelessly scoured the vast expanse of the Utah and Nevada desert, driven by a commitment to find answers for the Rounds family. At 33 years old, he had taken it upon himself to unravel the enigma of Dylan's disappearance. Lance's quest began just days after the teen had vanished, and it consumed him entirely. He couldn't rest knowing that a fellow human being had simply disappeared without a trace. In an interview with the news, Lance shared his motivation, expressing his heartfelt connection to the story and the urge to make a difference. As the sun beat down upon the desolate landscape, Lance pressed on, sifting through the sand and rocks, hoping to stumble upon any clue that could lead him closer to the truth. The harsh conditions and the vastness of the desert could have deterred even the bravest souls, but Lance's determination fueled his perseverance. With every pressing day, the mystery of Dylan Rounds lived in Lance's mind, and he vowed to bring closure to the family that yearned for answers. As he traveled the desert, thoughts of Dylan's fate occupied his every step, propelling him forward despite the odds. Filled with a burning resolve to bring Dylan home, Lance met Justin Rounds, the distraught father, by chance. It was around the same time that they crossed paths at a food bank in the nearby town of Montello, Nevada, where Justin volunteered, seeking any shred of information about his missing son. Before we continue, please take a moment to support our channel by liking this video, subscribing, and ringing the bell to receive notifications of all of our newest uploads that explore unexplained disappearances, history's most frightening serial killers, and much more. Now, let's get back to the story. As the two men came face to face, Lance was struck by the depth of Justin's pain. He recalled the encounter, describing how he had never seen someone so devastated before. The raw anguish in Justin's eyes was palpable as he grappled with the unimaginable torment of not knowing where his son was. The weight of his suffering was evident as he fought back tears, but the pain was too overpowering, and eventually, tears streamed down his cheeks, unleashing his anguish. Lance's heart went out to Justin, and he felt an emotional connection that stirred him deeply. As a father of two young children himself, he couldn't help but be moved by the sight of a shattered family, torn apart by uncertainty. Witnessing the devastation inflicted upon Justin and his loved ones resonated deeply with him. United by a common cause, Lance and his friend Ty Corbin, both part of the fire department at the time, decided to take action. They approached Justin wanting to help. Without hesitation, they pledged to organize a search over the Nevada side of the border, determined to leave no stone unturned in their pursuit of answers. And so, their mission began, a search that would take them through the vast Nevada landscape, guided by hope, fueled by compassion, and propelled by the resilience of the human spirit. Together, they braved the scorching sun, the rugged terrain, and the arduous journey ahead. As they ventured into the unknown, they were driven not only by the desire to bring Dylan home, but also by a sense of solidarity with the Rounds family. Lance understood that this search was more than just a quest for one missing person. It was a quest for justice, peace, and closure. Their bond grew stronger as they faced the challenges of the unforgiving wilderness together. Day after day, they pressed on, their resolve unwavering, despite the lack of easy answers. Lance affirmed this by saying, quote, "That was the last thing I said to Dylan's dad before he left town, and I'm not going back on my word," unquote. Despite the passing of 6 long months, Lance stayed true to his promise, embracing the weight of responsibility with unyielding courage. Every day, like clockwork, Lance and Ty ventured into the vast desert. With each sunrise, they embarked on their quest, tirelessly searching for any clue that could lead them to Dylan's whereabouts. Guided by hope and fueled by compassion, they scoured the arid terrain, leaving no stone unturned. Their tireless efforts led them to explore the hidden depths of the desert, venturing into caves and abandoned mine shafts in the Montello and Lucin regions. As they navigated through the twists and the turns of the cavernous passages, Lance's mind was filled with the memories of Justin's pain-stricken face. The image of the grieving father fueled his desire to find the missing teen. Lance shared their daily routine, explaining, quote, "We head up to the mines in the mountains because those would have been pretty accessible to Dylan, and the washes too," unquote. They understood the significance of these spots and the potential they held for revealing answers. In the heart of town, whispers and rumors surrounded the mysterious disappearance. Quote, "One thing people say around here is if you want to get rid of a body, you do it in the wash or you do it in the mine shafts," unquote. But the vastness of the desert proved to be both a blessing and a challenge. The countless unlisted mine shafts created a daunting task for the searchers. Lance acknowledged, quote, "It's a big task," unquote. But that didn't deter him. He understood that they had a long road ahead, but he was resolute in his conviction to keep searching. The belief in their cause kept them going, inspiring Lance to say, quote, "I think we just need to keep going and doing what we're doing, and I think one day we'll be able to bring him home," unquote. Lance's words echoed through the vast expanse of the desert. Quote, "Every day we don't find him, that's just another place we can cross off the list," unquote. The haunting question of whether he was still alive or had met a tragic end remained unanswered. The anguish in his family's hearts was palpable as they faced the possibility of a horrifying truth. They couldn't comprehend the idea that Dylan would simply disappear, wandering aimlessly into the vast desert. The idea that something more sinister had transpired seeped through their fears, resonating with the community around them. With tearful eyes, Dylan's mother, Candace Cooley, shared her heartfelt account. In June, she confided, quote, "Dylan was out building his life. His lifelong dream was to have his own farm," unquote. Determination and hard work had shaped his days, with the dream of cultivating his own land fueling his endeavors. For 2 summers, he had poured his heart and soul into the farm, tirelessly ripping out and redeveloping the ground on his own. His dedication bore fruit, as he secured water rights and made every effort to bring his dream to life. Dylan's drive and ambition shone through his endeavors, making the possibility of him simply vanishing unfathomable. Candace's emotions were raw as she uttered the words that haunted her. Quote, "As hard as it is, and as much as I hate to say it, I'm about 99% sure somebody murdered my son," unquote. The weight of her words echoed through the community, stirring emotions and sparking a fierce drive to find answers. Lance's heart remained steadfast, clinging to the belief that Dylan would be found alive and well. Each passing day, however, chipped away at his once unyielding optimism, leaving a trace of uncertainty in its wake. With a flicker of hope in his eyes, Lance expressed his wish for a swift resolution, saying, quote, "I hope that something is found soon," unquote. He yearned for Dylan's safe return, envisioning a scenario where he would come back unharmed, as if he had merely taken an unexpected detour. But the reality weighed heavily on Lance's mind, the evidence suggesting that Dylan's love for farming would never lead him to leave everything behind. He pondered, quote, "Knowing him from what his family has said and his social media pages, this guy was just all about farming, so it would be odd for him to just go running away from all that," unquote. Determined to stay true to his vow, Lance refused to give up. He firmly believed that Dylan was out there, waiting to be found, and so he pledged to continue the search. Should it be revealed that Dylan had fallen victim to foul play, Lance issued a message to those responsible. Quote, "Justice is coming for you. Just know that. There has to be justice for Dylan and his family," unquote. For the past 5 months, a number of individuals have been under consideration in connection with his baffling disappearance. Investigators recovered a pair of bloodied boots, along with the location of Dylan's phone. Dylan's parents, Justin Rounds and Candace Cooley, believed these crucial pieces of evidence held the key to uncovering their son's fate. They mentioned in an interview with the news that the boots and the phone pointed to a potential link with a man named James Brenner. James Brenner, a 59-year-old man, was one of the 2 individuals who had contact with Dylan in the days leading up to his disappearance. While not yet charged in the case, Brenner had already been arrested for unrelated felony gun crimes, alongside a man named Chase Venstra, age 41. Dylan's parents, however, held a belief that went beyond the gun charges. They were convinced that Brenner knew more than he was letting on about their son's disappearance. The evidence seemed to paint a darker picture as the investigation took an unexpected turn, shifting its focus to a potential homicide. Candace shared a chilling revelation, recounting, quote, "Brenner has admitted he's the one who took the boots out there," unquote. This confession unraveled a disturbing sequence of events, as he revealed that he had found the boots near a shed on the property. Brenner claimed he moved the boots to a different location near his camper, believing that Dylan would not return for them. The ominous cloud of suspicion loomed over Brenner as the mystery deepened further. The discovery of Dylan's phone at the bottom of a pond on June 18th sent shockwaves through the small town of Lucin. Justin, Dylan's father, unveiled a crucial piece of the puzzle, revealing that call records indicated his son had contacted James Brenner on the day he disappeared. Adding to this, Justin claimed that James Brenner, had been seen at the pond location on the same day. The news had previously reported on the timeline, highlighting that the authorities didn't interview Brenner until June 7th, a full 10 days after Dylan's last known communication. Suspicion mounted when a search warrant was executed at Brenner's trailer by the FBI on June 16th, unearthing ammunition, ignition caps, and black powder associated with muzzleloader firearms. The investigation took an unsettling turn when it came to light that Dylan's truck had appeared to be tampered with. His parents shared their concerns, stating that the vehicle seemed too clean and had been put into 4-wheel drive after Dylan had complained that the feature wasn't working. Justin and Candace, Dylan's parents, voiced their dissatisfaction for what they saw as an investigation riddled with errors, omissions, lies, and misconduct. In a puzzling twist, the key fob to Dylan's truck was brought back and placed in his camp trailer, according to his parents. However, they claimed investigators showed little concern or interest in this suspicious development. Candace expressed her frustration, recalling, quote, "That happened on day number 3 after Dylan was gone. They didn't even think to treat anything suspicious. They didn't start thinking, something's not right. Something is bringing this kid's stuff back now and he's missing. No, nothing. They just continued on their merry way," unquote. As our coverage of this story comes to a close, we must emphasize that the investigation into Dylan Rounds' disappearance is still ongoing. The search for the young farmer still continues, yet the answers remain elusive for his friends and family. We're committed to providing updates as they come in, ensuring that our viewers stay informed on new developments in this perplexing case. The journey to find Dylan and unveil the truth behind his disappearance is far from over, and we stand united with the community of Lucin in their pursuit of closure and resolution. Stay tuned for more as we navigate through the intricacies of this ongoing investigation and continue to provide you with the best true crime content. See you on the other side.